We're gonna swim back and run in the Kona sun. We're gonna swim back and run in the Kona sun and breakfast with Bob.
And Pancho Man! And our studio audience. Our 10-year anniversary here at Huggo's on the Rocks. We're brought to you by HOKA, Polar, UCAN, Velofix, Normatec, Active, Canyon, Form Goggles, Amp Human, Four Seasons Resort, Hualalai. And our next guest, Mr. Josh Amberger. How you doing, Josh?
I'm great, Bob. Good to be here.
So you had a little swim yesterday?
Yeah, little 3.8K swim. Yeah,
and it seemed like it was competitive out there. Guys you had Alistair Brownlee, and usually that's just a little warm-up for the race, but that was the race.
Yeah, I think it definitely ended up being a race when you got a two-time Olympic gold medalist going all in the last few hundred meters to get to the line first. So, it was interesting. We had a German age grouper leading most of the way, and I was kind of off to the one side doing my thing, watching the pack, and then I kind of jumped in the pack the last K and felt how easy it is to swim in the pack rather than by yourself. So.
You hardly ever get to swim in a pack, do you?
Yeah, no, so I was kind of relishing that, to be honest.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
Yeah.
I remember Andy Potts used to lead the swim here every year, and he finally decided, you know what? Leading the swim doesn't really do much for me. So he was saying that he was be doing backstroke in the pack because it was going so slow.
Yeah, that's a good excuse for him now because he's actually not leading swims anymore.
Oh! So what is about this race that you like about the World Championship?
I love that it's a world championship, so everyone comes here, and you have to be on form. It's the one race for the year that everyone's at.
Yeah.
Of course, the course is spectacular and it has amazing history, and but yeah, it's a true world championship, and as a racer and a competitor, that's what always brings out the best in you and tells you where you most need to improve. So for me, I've got my ass kicked the last 2 years here, so it's been quite enjoyable to go away and have, you're miserable for a few days, but then, of course, you realise what you need to improve on for next year.
And so how have you improved for this year?
For me this year, I've had some really good consistency in my training the last few months. So for me, my swimming's always there, but my bike and the run needs a lot of consistency behind it to perform well at the Ironman distance. And last year I carried an injury into this race and had absolutely no running behind me. So I've been able to train without any hiccups the last few months. So that's been a real boon to my preparation for this race.
And you spend some time with Cam Wurf, training a little bit. What did you do? More help him out with his swimming? Did he help you out with cycling? What did you guys do?
Yeah, definitely. I went to train with Cam in Andorra, see what it takes to be the best on the bike.
Right.
And yeah, it was great training there. It was very different. It's like all climbs, so he's pretty much just doing climbs all day. And if you want to ride time trial specific, you got to go down into Spain into this one little valley.
Yeah.
But it's the same road that Rowan Dennis trains on as well. So he just won the World Time Trial Championship. So
not a bad person to be with.
Yeah. So the training there was great, and I'd like to think that Cam got a bit out of swimming with me. It's a tiny little 2-lane training pool underground in this gym that we train in, and it's actually really, really cool, and it's like a real house of pain kind of feeling, that pool there. So we got some good work done there on the swim and bike, and most of the runs we did together actually was on a treadmill side by side, because up in the Pyrenees there's not, unless you're like a trail runner, there's not really much option.
So when is there a thought, did you guys have any discussions of, hey, Josh is going to be off the front of the swim, Cam's going to be coming through at some point on the bike, the two of us can try to put some time on Brownlee and the rest of those guys?
Yeah, so if you spend time with Cam, he's always talking about tactics.
Always. He's a bike racer.
Yeah, so you want to maybe avoid talking about racing for a bit, but it's always at the front of his mind. So
right.
He's a growing up as a bike racer, I guess it's all about teams, and of course being an Australian, he's he's looking at like Team Australia. So he's definitely keen to have an Aussie up there at the front of the race with him. And I don't think there's many other guys that are maybe going to be able to be in that position. So yeah, we've been kind of encouraging each other to get the most out of each other for this race. And he actually wants me to swim as hard as I can and try and split up the race. So
well, because last year you didn't swim as hard, right? You didn't swim as hard, figuring, okay, those guys will come through quicker and then we'll go. But they really didn't go.
Yeah, we got out of the swim and I had 5 or 6 guys around me, which was what I wanted. The year before, I had no one around me.
And which meant you were by yourself with the helicopter for the Queen Highway.
Of course. So we got onto the bike course and then no one wanted to ride hard and no one wanted to take the lead. So we kind of all just looked at each other, and then 30 minutes down the road, everyone in quarter, so it's more or less a waste of time. So
maybe it makes more sense to go off the front.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And now after watching Brownlee yesterday, he could be up there too.
Yeah, for sure. And Brownlee's such a hardened racer that we've seen yesterday. It wasn't even really a race, but he wants to race it. So he's always in the spirit of competition. And
right.
He loves pain just as much as Cam Wurf does, and I'm sure whether it's him leading or me leading, that the pace is going to be on, and he's going to want to be at the front of the race for as long as he can as well.
So when you look back at your career in this sport, what do you look at as your best race, as a race that maybe told you something about yourself you didn't know?
Yeah, for me, I like to think my career's kind of, I don't look back as a career as a whole. Yes.
It's just started.
But
you're the appetizer of your career.
I'd like to think that. But 2 years ago, I won the Ironman Asia Pacific Championship in Cairns, and on that day, before Braden came and smashed it the next year, I beat the record by 13 minutes and had what I feel as if was a complete Ironman performance. Swam at the front. Cam Wurf raced that day as well. He caught me on the bike. I ended up dropping him on the bike.
No way!
Yeah.
You remind him of that often?
Yeah, I think that's he used that as a pivot in his career, never to get dropped on the bike again, especially by a swimmer. So I rode away from Cam that day and then held off all the guys who ran in the 240s and to take the win. So that was a complete day for me. It's my first Ironman win, my only Ironman win to date. So definitely.
That was it.
Yeah.
So for Saturday, do you come into this with hey, I'd like to be top 10, I'd like to be first out of the water and finish top 5? What is there a specific goal, or is this, obviously your career is very new, this is just a stepping stone to 2020, 2021? Yeah,
definitely. I'd take any result really, as long as it's what I feel to be a complete performance.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 weeks ago, I went into the Nice 70.3 World Champs hoping for a top 10, maybe thinking I could go top 5, and then I got completely obliterated and was 17th. So yeah, I'm looking at this race. I'd love to just get that first stepping stone and get the top 10. I think I'm definitely capable of being well inside the top 10. But yeah, obviously to do that, you have to have a perfect race here.
Well, and you know you're going to be out of the water up there. So in the bike, you're just like, if you go too hard on the bike, then you suffer in the run. And this is still fairly new to you. How do you balance that, knowing how far, if Cam's, you're with Cam, you're sort of with you're going to be at the pointy end of the bike course and be able to get off the bike with people behind you. But if you go, then do you still have anything for the run?
Yeah, of course. And I think that's one of the things you only know and you can feel during the race, and you can give yourself the feedback. And hour 1 of the bike, hour 2, you just keep counting the hours down. And if you're still good, and if your legs are still good, you know, hopefully I can still ride at the front. And I've had races where I've got off the bike in Ironman and felt totally rubbish, and taken my first step running and felt amazing. So you always kind of have to keep yourself in the race, even if you're struggling in the moment on the bike.
Right.
Not discounting that your marathon's going to go terribly as well. It's just yeah, Ironman can serve you up anything. And if you've prepared well, I think as long as you have confidence in your preparation that you've done the work, you should be able to make it through fairly long in the race without any troubles.
What are you liking about this whole lifestyle of being a professional athlete, traveling the world? Has it been everything you hoped it would be?
Yeah, definitely. I've never had a real job, so
that's good. Either have I.
Left high school, started studying at uni, but was racing ITU at the same time, and I've been traveling and racing professionally since I was 17 years old. So I don't really know what it's like to have a boss other than myself. Of course, I've had coaches and that,
right.
but I can.
But you can fire them.
Yeah. But yeah, I love sleeping in every day and then just getting up and going training.
And when you're not racing and training, what do you like to do?
I love being in the garden, actually. Yeah, so we've Ashley and I. Ashley's over here. We built a house a couple of years ago, and we've got a bit of land. So we enjoyed coming home from Europe a month ago and seeing all the spring flowers and stuff in bloom in the garden. So that's been definitely fun to have gardening. I like to roast coffee and drink beer and do all the normal stuff as well.
So you're in the best place in the world for coffee.
Yeah, I think so, definitely.
Love it.
Yeah.
Josh, always a pleasure to chat with you. I learn something every time we chat. Thanks for taking time.
Thanks, Bob. Cheers.
Josh Amberger has been our guest. Poncho Man, take us out.
Swim back and run in the corner sun. We're gonna swim back and run in the corner sun. It's breakfast with Bob.